Hi, my name is Jacek from Fevolino.com and I sincerely welcome you to this new YouTube video. The topic of today's video is going to be the billboard effect, a very powerful strategy how you can increase direct bookings for your holiday rental and increase revenue. So let's get started. So let's start with the definition of the billboard effect. The billboard effect goes back to a study from the Cornell University in the United States by PhD Chris Anderson. The original study you will find in the video description, which was called in 2009, The Billboard Effect, Online Travel Agent Impact on Non-OTA Reservation Volume. OTA stands as an acronym for an abbreviation for online travel agents, so like Booking.com or Expedia. And then Professor Anderson topped it up again in 2017, so 8 years later he followed up with another study, The Billboard Effect, Still Alive and Well. If you are interested in the statistics or the analysis and all the details of the study, you can find them here in the video description. We have a German blog article regarding this topic, a dedicated article regarding this topic, and there you will also find the links to the original studies, which were published, of course, in English. So basically, the billboard effect says that the sheer fact that you are displaying your property on OTAs, so booking portals like Airbnb, Fevodirect or Expedia or Airbnb, will increase direct bookings or inquiries through your direct channels, which is telephone, email, contact form on your website, etc. So will increase direct bookings somewhere between 17 and 23%. That of course varies. I think when you think about it, like logically, it makes a lot of sense. A lot of people when they start, think of the customer journey and the guest. The customer journey can start on YouTube, on Google, on word of mouth, and of course on booking portals or booking platforms like Booking.com. But a certain amount of people want maybe to research more about the region or see who is the owner, and then will go away from the Booking.com, for instance, from the marketplace, and then Google directly. So this is basically the billboard effect. Okay, now that you have this knowledge, by the way, maybe you are from the hotel industry and you know what the billboard effect is, then fine. I, for instance, didn't know it. The first time I encountered this effect, and it was explained to me in 2017 and 18 when I was working for Booking.com in Berlin as an account manager, new partnerships. And it's quite interesting, and especially for folks, for you as a holiday rental owner that maybe does not come from the hotel industry. Okay, so I hope you learned something new. And now, what do we do with this knowledge? Of course, we want to maximize the billboard effect, and how you can do that, we're going to present to you now in 6 simple steps. Let's go. So the first step in order to have the billboard effect or to leverage the billboard effect, to maximize the billboard effect, is to, of course, be present on booking platforms. You have to make a decision, hopefully an informed decision, based on who your target guest is, your target audience. You want to select booking platforms. In Germany, Austria and Switzerland, where we actually are very active, is of course Booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia with Fevodirect very popular, and a lot of holiday rental owners use those platforms. But there are a lot of niche platforms as well. For instance, Urlaubsarchitektur.de, Ferienamwasser.reisen.de, maybe we can put some overlays here in this video, or Little Travel Society from Munich, also very interesting, especially if your guests are, or your target audience are families with kids. There are a lot of other niche portals, Urlaub mit Hund, so if you have if your target audience are actually travelers with dogs and stuff. So you have a plethora of options of what kind of booking platforms to choose, but in order to leverage the billboard effect, you of course have to be present at least a few of them, okay? Or at least one of them. Now, the second point, how to maximize the billboard effect. Now that you have selected and you are present on a booking platform, let's say, to keep it simple, Booking.com and Airbnb, you want to optimize your listing. Now, a lot of teachers or coaches or consultants out there will tell you to name it, I don't know, sunny apartment in Berlin Mitte, 3 master bedrooms or something. We actually don't recommend that. In order for you, the billboard effect to actually work very well, try to include your brand name. So if your brand name is Kimmelsbacher Hof, yeah, in Germany, try to call it Ferienhaus Kimmelsbacher Hof, yeah, and then maybe you can add a USP or whatever, or your target audience. But you definitely want your brand name in the title, yeah, of your listing, because this will make it easier for the people or for the billboard effect to actually work for you. Because if if somebody finds your apartment and it's called Sunny Apartments in Berlin Mitte, they will Google it and they will get like a wall of results on Google or on Bing or whatever they use to research or to Google. It's going to be very difficult. So I think it's self-explanatory. Use your brand name, whatever it is, yeah, location, brand name, and then maybe USP. So optimize your listing for your billboard effect, and believe me, it's going to be worthwhile. I understand that you try to optimize also for the platform, especially if you do a lot over Booking.com or Airbnb. But in order for the billboard effect to work, you should include your brand name. And now, point number 3. Try to incentivize guest reviews not only on the platform. Use Google Maps if you don't have it yet. We highly recommend it. It's for free. Yeah, so Google My Business listing. It's free of charge. You can use it. Try to incentivize or ask for reviews. Collect those reviews on Google Maps. Maybe on Facebook if you have a Facebook page. There are also other review platforms in Germany, Proven Expert or Trustpilot, or if you have an international target audience, use TripAdvisor. So try to collect reviews. They will also help you that the billboard effect will work better. The person finds you on the booking platform, Googles you directly, yeah, your property. And if you have this social proof, yeah, search engines are very smart these days, even in times of ChatGPT and AI. So this social proof is very important. It's a very strong signal also to search engines, yeah, and it will help you with your own channels to rank higher when somebody uses, also Googles you. So that's the next recommendation. So that was point 3. Now point 4, of course, I think it's self-explanatory. You should have your own website. It doesn't matter if you use a website builder like Squarespace or Wix or whatever, or you have a content management system like WordPress, which we actually recommend. You should have your own kind of web presence in order for the billboard effect to work. Yeah, that people will Google it. The billboard effect can work also without a website. Then you should at least have a Google Maps listing, so Google My Business listing, but you have to have some kind of direct channel to you, yeah, in order for the billboard effect to work. We of course recommend your own website with sprinkling some social media over it. So I think nowadays Instagram and Facebook is a must-have, even if you don't use it actively. And also YouTube is quite interesting, but this is maybe a topic for another video. So this is the next recommendation. Try to have your own channels, so your website and some social media for the billboard effect to work properly. So we came to point number 5 of how to maximize the billboard effect for your holiday rental, which is basically you have to incentivize the direct booking. You have to incentivize the phone call or the contact form or whatever your call to action is, yeah, your desired conversion goal on your website or whatever. You have to incentivize it somehow. Be smart. I mean, Booking did it almost 20 years ago. Maybe you remember the best price guarantee. Yeah, find this property somewhere cheaper. We're going to match the price. You want to drive direct bookings. Also, you want to incentivize somehow direct bookings, especially if you are already a little bit more sophisticated. If you have a PMS system like Smoobu or Evivo or Easy Booking, yeah, and a booking engine. You want to incentivize the direct. It will not always work, you know, especially when international tourists travel. They, especially for the first time, they will use a booking platform, which is fine, yeah. So they might find you over the billboard effect might work, yeah. They will find you on the booking platform, go to your website, and then book out of convenience or maybe lack of trust directly, which is fine. Most of the time, they convert later into direct guests once they have been at your property and they got to know you and stuff, and then next time they're gonna book directly. But you want to do some certain steps on your website or your direct channels in general to incentivize the direct booking. Yeah, what is the added value? And, you know, people care only about themselves. Yeah, so what's in it for me you should ask yourself from the perspective of the guest. Yeah. So do I get the best price here? Is it whatever? Do I get a discount? Do I get some kind of kind of present when on arrival? Whatever it is, you want to incentivize the direct booking. And now the last point, the sixth step or strategy to maximize the billboard effect is, of course, to build your brand. We cannot highly enough stress how important this is, especially if you are mid and long-term committed. So if you want to really build a decent business long-term, mid-term with your holiday rental, really try to build a brand. It will make you less comparable. Yeah, it will maximize the billboard effect, and it will make life really easier for you in the long term. So try to really, especially if you are just starting out, think about how you're gonna about the domain name. Think about the branding. Think about the marketing at the very beginning. It will save you a lot of headaches and tears later on, and it will really have an impact on your bottom line, yeah, and on your profitability if you think about this whole branding stuff. And of course the billboard effect will work better for you if you have built even a small but still strong and unique brand for your holiday rental. Okie dokie, so we are done. I hope you learned something new. If you did, we really would appreciate a like or a subscription, so please do so if you want. We would really appreciate it. And of course, if you want to have a question, a follow-up question, just post in the comments. We personally, Agnes and I, are answering every single question. And maybe a last anecdote from the real world just recently happened. A client of us got actually, the billboard effect seems to not only work from platforms to direct bookings, from booking platforms to direct bookings, but also between booking platforms. So we had recently a client that we had a client, or we have a client. She was found actually on TripAdvisor. So a German tourist found the property, which is not in Germany but in the European Union country, and the holiday rental was found on TripAdvisor. The guest even submitted the inquiry for a week in the summer, yeah, to rent out the holiday home. Then canceled the inquiry and booked directly over Booking because he saw the same properties also on Booking. But again, the brand name was there. That's why he was able to find the same listing on a different platform of his choice or preference. And the person booked, the German guest booked directly over Booking. So also interesting insight. That's why it's so important that when you have various booking platforms, that you make sure that the title of the listing is optimized for your brand and for the billboard effect, and so that somebody can find you. So it was quite funny and interesting to learn that the billboard effect seems to also work between booking platforms, yeah? Which also leads us to the summary: build a strong brand, grow your FEWO. Thank you so much for your attention.